longer. But I do want you to give a look here. The first one off our right, the silver one. I'm going to talk about it later, but I want you to the silver twins and right tail port, just look at the nose of it. I want you to pay attention to that. It's, there's a couple of variants to this aircraft, so we'll talk about them later on. But just get a good image of the nose here. Now we're going to start talking off our left front is the blue aircraft, the Grumman F4F Wildcat. That was a Navy frontline fighter when we entered World War II. That's actually a later version like their FN2 built by General Motors. And FN2 actually had the highest kill ratio in World War II for the Navy at 32-1. The next aircraft we're going to talk about off our left front. There's two of them there, one with a tiger teeth, one with a tiger head, the Curtiss P-40 Warhawk. That was the U.S. Army's top line fighter when we entered World War II. It had a Allison engine in it, a single-stage supercharger. So its altitude limit was about 15,000 feet. It started losing power. It was the best we had going at the time. Now off our left is the Red Star, the Soviet Russian-built Yak-9. The Yak group of fighters was the most produced fighter by the Russians in World War II. And the Yak-9 model was the first Soviet aircraft to shoot down a German jet in 1862. Back to that P-40, the British needed more fighters at the beginning of World War II. They couldn't build them fast enough, so they came to North American Aviation, and that's because they built that P-40 in the license. North American didn't want to do that because it was somebody else's design, so they suggested it would take them 120 days to tool up and build that. How about they give you a brand new design in 120 days that's a better aircraft? The British bought off on that, signed the contract. And 102 days later, they rolled out the aircraft off our right, the North American P-51 Mustang. Now, this is a much later version of D model. That's the last version we saw in wide use in World War II for us. The P-51A still had that Allison engine in it, so it was still altitude limited. Great performer down low, though, so the British used it as a reconnaissance aircraft and a strike aircraft. But they thought it had no potential. One of their test pilots suggested taking the engine from the Spitfire and Hurricane, the Rolls-Royce Merlin, and putting it in that airframe. Changed everything entirely. Instead of the P-51A's top speed of 390, it could now go 440 miles an hour. So the P-51A's ceiling of about 25,000 feet. It now had a ceiling of almost 42,000 feet. So it made it into a great performing aircraft. They also added a fuel tank in the fuselage behind the pilot, which increased its range. With that, and adding drop tanks under the wing, they can now fly with the bomber all the way in the Germany. As we turn the corner here, I want you to look at the second one on the left, the red tail one. You can see it's got a segment at the end. That is the P-51B or C. The only difference is whether it was built in Texas or California. I'm going to come back to the P-51. Off our right now, we have three versions or variants of the Chance-bought F4U Corsair. That was the first fighter the U.S. had, single-engine fighter that could do over 400 miles an hour in level flight. It was also the longest produced piston fighter for the U.S. from 1942 to 1953. Now I'm supposed to point out to you the silver building on the right that says the Warbirds Youth Education Center. It has a Corsair and P-51 simulator in there. It's air-conditioned, it's free, but you have to be under 18. Back to the P-51. Prior to this long-range P-51 escort, our shorter-range fighters, the P-47, P-38, had to turn back when they were escorting the bombers. They couldn't go all the way with them. The German fighters would wait until they turned back, and then they would attack the bombers unescorted. It was a free run. Sometimes they shot down as many as 10% of a mission, and that was unsustainable, so they had to stop going deep into Germany until the P-51 showed up. Now it could escort all the way in, and the Germans now started losing their experienced pilots to the P-51s, and that's where the Luftwaffe started heading downhill. At the end of World War II, the head of the German Air Force, Hermann Goering, was quoted as saying, when he saw P-51s escorting the bombers over Berlin, he knew that the war was lost for them. Up on right now, you see a reenactment, Tent City. This is how they would have lived in World War II. It doesn't look that bad, so you consider they did this through the winter also. If you want to learn more about what's going on there, how they work and live, go in there and find somebody with a uniform on. They'll be more than happy to explain it to you. First aircraft we're going to talk about here is off our left. twin boom tail, engine in front, engine in back, Cessna 02. Used as a forward air control aircraft in Vietnam. Has 4 hard points on the wing to carry rockets, machine gun pods, flares. Carried 400 pounds of radios to communicate with troops on the ground and with other aircraft. What they would do is they would fly low over the jungle, slowly find the targets in the jungle, and then they could fire a marking rocket that would leave a big smoke mark on the ground. So the fast-moving strike aircraft would come in. They didn't have to look and try to find the target. They would just tell them direction, distance from that smoke, and they could strike the target without even seeing it. Off our right, coming up off our left, the North American built, Raider Ryan built Avalon. Off our L-17, most World War II aircraft. Liaison, high transport, Tram. The last one on the right is the Cessna 01 Bird Dog, tail dragger. We came here to tell you about that a little bit later. We got some more of it. Coming up now is our Red Sun area. The Chinese-built Manchang CJ-6, the Russian or Soviet-built Yakovlev Yak-52. Very similar in appearance. The easiest way to tell them apart is the Yak-52 is the rounded tail and a straight wing. CJ-6 has a big up wing and a squared off tail. Used for the same mission, primary training and aerobatics training. Kind of unique in that the landing gear, brakes, flaps, and the engine are all driven pneumatically. The engine startup is pneumatic. There's a compressor on board that fills the tank up. I want you to some aircraft we roll over. The last one on the right here says Royal Navy 663. Look off its nose. There's 3 aircraft next to over the international orange markings in the tail. French-built trainers and Epsilon, built by Sakata, TM-30, replaced the Jet Pluto Magister. The next one to their left is the red tail and the white plus sign on it. There's a Swiss-built trainer, the T3 by Pilatus. Used by Switzerland as a train for many years. To the left of that is the red low wing, the Marchetti SF-260, Italian trainer, but also the light attack aircraft. Off our right, the silver tail rider next to the row is the American trainer, the BT-13, Vulcan Valiant. Shoots called the Vulcan Vibrator because the canopy always rattled when it was running. Next to the left, we have another Epsilon and then another Marchetti. After that, we have another post-war aircraft, the twin-engine green one there, the German-built Dornier 28, GR-28, used as a communications aircraft by transport. As we get out from left wing of that, if you look straight ahead of us, you see a couple of long-wing motor gunners on the yellow by the fire engine. Those were Schweitzer-built SGM 2-37s. They only built 12 of those, but 9 of them were used by the Air Force Academy as trainers. Next, we come into our advanced trainer area off our left, and the first one off our right. The North American built Army called them the T6. Texan, Navy called the SNJ. The British and the Canadians called it the Harvard. I'll take a moment here. If you happen to go by and behind the aircraft on the top part, hang on to your hat because it's incredible how much that glows. This aircraft was flown by over 60 nations. There's quite a few different markings out here. If I get the opportunity, I'll try to point some out as we go by. On our right, we have a couple of the Newcraft C-34 Mentors. There's a large group of those later on, so I will discuss those later. If you look at the gap here, before the yellow one and after the red and white one, or blue and white one here, second row, you see a red and white aircraft, low wing with a gray canopy cover on it, who are about 2 o'clock now. That's the Polish-built EGL M26. They only built 14 of them. It was a trainer. They called it the Sparkle. We call it the Airwolf because it's a cool name. If you look at that, the tail on that, the vertical stabilizer, the rudder, and the main landing gear on that are actually identical to the Piper Seneca 2. They were building that under license at the time, and it eased the design work on this aircraft. There's our forward-marked aircraft off the left, the T6 with the red tail. It's got the Kiwi in the Rondell, the zero-marked aircraft. More T-34s off our right, and roll over on the right is silver tail riggers and the BT-13 basic trainer. For example, the primary trainer, if you look to our right front, the yellow biplanes is the Stearman, the PT-17, actually built by Boeing, designed by Stearman. Boeing bought the company before production started. Originally started building it as the PT-13. with a Lycoming radio. Then they went to the Continental radio, which made it the PT-17. Then they put a Jacobs radio on it, made the PT-18. Then the Navy called BN2S, which is super confusing. Next up on the right, the Army marking there is another 01. In 1975, a South Vietnamese major put his wife and 5 children in one of these. Over 2 seats, flew offshore of our carrier Midway and dropped a note on the deck, requesting they clear the deck on him so he could land and save his family. The captain decided to run with that. They pushed over $2 million worth of South Vietnamese fuels into the ocean, and he was able to land safely. The civil-looking one here on the right is a Marchetti 1019 is a development of the 01. They put a turboprop engine on it and a bigger tail. Skinny shorelines here on the right. There's a wave aircraft, 1505. That's just a little bit marked in the South Pacific. Next, coming up on our left, the area of De Havilland Chipmunks, your DHC-1. De Havilland of Canada built these, flown by the British and the Canadian forces for many years. As built from the factory, the aft 2/3 of the wing was fabric covered. We're going to go on the corner here, and the second one is red and white. If you look at the left wing, right about where the white wing meets the red fuselage, you'll see there's a red plus sign in the white. As it came from the factory, inside that fabric wing, they put a first aid kit, and that's where it was located. They had a pull tab. If you needed the first aid kit because of an accident, you pulled the tab, tore the wing open, you could get the first aid kit out. You knew it was in there, and everything was in it because you couldn't get at it otherwise. The three blue aircraft on the left now, the Fairchild Cornell. The first one with the enclosed canopy is PT-26. The second one with the canopy covered as an open cockpit, that's the PT-19. That was the original version. They added the canopy later so they could train in Canada in the cold weather. And they were running short of the Ranger engine. They also put a radio engine on this same airframe called the PT-23. An example of two changes making a different nomenclature. As we turn the corner here, there's going to be some more T6s, SNJs off our left. We actually flew these into the Korean War using the forward air controller. There the nickname was the Mosquito because of the buzzing sound from the propeller as the ships go supersonic. Actually, small supersonic booms you're hearing buzz. As we come into this next area, we're going to turn left. Off our right then will be the Beechcraft T-34 Mentor. They built this on speculation without an order. Took the tail and wing from the Bonanza and nailed the fuselage down, made it 2 seats, 4.5. Stretched it from +10, -4.5 Gs. The Air Force liked it. They bought it through it from 1953 to 1957 when they replaced it with the Cessna 237T. The Navy flew it from 1955 until 1973 when they went back to Beechcraft and asked them if they would try putting the PT-6 turboprop engine on the front of it. If you look at the last one in the row here, number 20, the yellow one, look off its tail. And next door over there's a red and white one with a teeth. If you look above the teeth, you see a big exhaust. That is an example of the turboprop engine on there, the 234C. Navy flew that for many years as their primary trainer, so they recently replaced it with a T6 Section 2. Recently was told by someone who wrote on this, the Navy still does fly quite a few of those. Coming up on our helicopter area next. First one on the right is the Hughes 086 Cayuse. They flew this in the Vietnam War as a reconnaissance aircraft. They fly low and slow over the jungle, firing down to the jungle with a machine gun on the open door to draw fire, and that's how they found the enemy very dangerous. Off our left is this Mi-3 Hoplite made by PCL of flown by the Soviets and all of the Soviet bloc nation. Could be a transport or armed. Second is some T6 SNJs. Here it is their 80th anniversary of first flight, so there's a lot of them here. During World War II, the Navy did a lot of their carrier qualification training on Lake Michigan. They had a couple of paddle wheel steamers that they converted into helicopters. They're looking at my notes, not teaching. Converted into carriers that they could train in Lake Michigan without having to worry about submarines. The problem was they were slow and they didn't put much wind over the deck, so they needed the wind to be blowing to fly, for example, a Wildcat or a Mirrorless on and off. So when they had a lot of calm days, they would back up in the training. So what they did is they put a tail hook on their SNJs and they could train carriers qualified with those in Lake Michigan. Number 4 markings here on the right, the white tail, the black X, that's Spanish marking. The anecdote that a pilot has written in the book that when he carried qualified in Lake Michigan, the aircraft he was flying, the tail hook was held up by a the clothesline wire ran outside the fuselage from the tail hook through his seat where it was wrapped around the armrest, and when he needed to drop the hook, he just unwound it and let go of the wire. Proved it effective. Coming up on our right front, the red tail, black and white checkers, the Leaping Impala, that's a South African Air Force marking. They actually flew these until 1995. As we turn the corner, here we go. As we turn the corner, off our right is going to be Devil Dog, the blue one. That's the North American B-25 Mitchell. Here it's painted up as a PBJ. As you can see, it can have a solid nose with machine guns in it. This one has 8. If you look at Take It Out, the next one in the row, it has a glass bombardier nose. They flew in every theater of the war, including Lend-Lease with the Russians. Probably best known though for the Doolittle raid, where they flew 16 of them off the aircraft carrier Hornet to attack Japan. I'll talk a little bit more about that later. I'll direct your eyes on the silver one off our right, the twin engine with a Cessna Bobcat AT-17. That was the multi-engine trainer. They called it the Bamboo Bomber because it had a lot of wood structure and fabric covering. It also had the spar in this was 42 feet long. It was a single piece of wood. The one beside it, the green camouflage one, is a variant of the Beechcraft Beech-18. It's a C-45 Expediter, carried cargo. That one I had to look at when we were leaving is another variant of this one. It has a glass nose, it's an AC-11 Kansan. You can put a Norton bomb sight up on that nose, and that's how they trained the bombardiers. And that's another version where they put the Texagas domes in the top of the fuselage, and they trained the Navigators. That was the 1870 Navigators. Off our left now, in the corner is a Cessna 310 in Army marking. The Air Force actually brought those first and sent to the Army and Navy. The Air Force built the U-3. They did a study in 1958 and found out that at that time it was costing them $12 an hour to operate that aircraft. Off our left now, variant of the DC-3. There are two main variants, the C-47 and C-53. The C-47 had a big cargo door in the left rear fuselage and a reinforced cargo floor. C-53 didn't have those. It was designed for carrying parachutes, so it's going blind. They only built 3 in the Navy though, because they found out the C-47 could actually do the job just as well, both jobs. Back to the Doolittle raid, the B-25s off our right. That was the only way they could come up with the strike that Japan soon after Pearl Harbor. The idea was they'd fly out the carrier side of Japan, bomb it, and then continue on the landed airfields in China. The problem was they were detected by picket boats over 200 miles early, so they had to launch early. They kind of knew when they took off they weren't going to make those bases in China. Took off anyway, successfully bombed Japan. 2 of them were able to land in Russia. The rest of them either crashed or bailed out over China. It wasn't a successful attack because it raised the morale for the United States and dropped the morale for Japan. We're going to now come up in an area where we got a lot of aircraft tail launchers, and we're trying to hit quite a few of them here. First I'm going to talk about left front, about 11 o'clock, the Navy, the gray one with the red and white check tail. That is the North American FJ-4 Fury. That is the Navy's version of the aircraft off its right wing there with the red tail, white stars on the tail. The North American F-86 Sabre. That was our Top Gun fighter in the Korean War. The gray one tailed towards us here with the 2 engines with the red covers is the Northrop F-5. Next we have 3 aircraft here that are the Lockheed T-33 Shooting Star. The trainer developed from the Lockheed P-80. They took the T-80, extended the fuselage by 3 feet, put in a second set of controls and a seat, and then that was their jet trainer for many years. Next, coming up on the left front, the 2 green camouflage, the Marchetti S-211, a Italian jet trainer, very short field performance, can take off and land in 2,800 feet. Next up on the left, we have 3 variants of the Douglas A-1 Skyraider with the folded up wings there. You can see a lot of hard points under the wings, could carry a lot of weapons, could carry up to 8,000 pounds. They were used in Korea and Vietnam, but one of the best known uses is what they call the Sandy mission in Vietnam, where they escorted the helicopters in to try to pick up down pilots in enemy territory. They could fly slow enough to be with the helicopters, and they could loiter a long time to direct other aircraft strikes until they could recover the pilots. Off our right, we have 2 variants of the Douglas A-26 Invader, flown in World War II, Korea, and Vietnam. Coming up next on our left, 2 examples look down the fuselage if you can when you get off right off the tail. Look how narrow that is. That's the Grumman F7F Tiger cap. It was too late for World War II. They did see night use in Korea as a night intruder, a night fighter. Shot down a couple of biplanes then. The last one on the left, the blue entrance forward up is the Grumman F8F Bear cap. Also a little too late for World War II. The Navy did use that for their demonstration team of Blue Angels for a few years. In 1946, when he set a time to climb record from a standing stop, he climbed to 10,000 feet in 94 seconds. That's just a little under 6,040 feet per minute. So it'll go to 10 years until they do that. Next coming up as we turn, we're going to have off our left the iconic Boeing B-17 Flying Fortress. So called the Flying Fortress by the press after rollout because of the number of machine guns. It ended up with a total of 13 of them at the end of the war. This aircraft dropped more tonnage of bombs than any other U.S. aircraft, and along with the B-24 Mitchell, this is how we took the war to Germany. Those two were our long-range bombers. Next up on the left, we have another variant of the DC-3. It's the AC-47 Spooky, used in the Vietnam War. If you can look down the left side of the fuselage, you see it's got 3 7.62mm miniguns sticking out. The rate of fire was high enough for that to suppose it was doing a football field. We could put a gun in there and score 49 cast. Very kept forward with the tracer. They only threw it at night to avoid ground fire. And the tracers, there were so many of them coming down that it left a solid line of fire from the aircraft to the ground. And so that garnered one of the popular nicknames, Puff the Magic Dragon, after one of the songs. If you look up our fishing list on the ramp there, you can see a red and white aircraft, a jet Provost that was a British trainer, one of the first jet trainers. We're going to end our tour here momentarily. If you've enjoyed this and think it's worth continuing, or if you just would like to help with Warbirds of America keeping these aircraft flying, I'd like to encourage you to join if you haven't already. You can do it right there in that tent where we started. You can go online and do it if you prefer, but it's a great gig to be a part of and support. Another way you can support Warbirds of America is we're going to be stopping here off in front of this building off our right. That is the EAA Warbirds gift shop. Everything Warbirds you can possibly imagine is in there. Shirts, coats, hats, books, models, toys. Ask you to consider going in there, taking a look around to see remember your Warbirds plan tour. As you exiting here, please watch your head. When you stand up, there's a great tendency to whack your head on this overhead, especially on the outside edges. Please don't do that. You will need to exit as soon as we stop here. Thank you for joining us on the Tram tour, and I hope you enjoy the rest of your day at AirVenture.
Oh, really?